Hey guys, so question was asked, how do you make an order form or for your customers or for you to order inventory that's going to tell you when you've gone over your price. So we're going to make a template that you can use. I'm just going to use a whole bunch of generic stuff. You can modify it, but it's going to teach you the basics and then you can go from there. You can make this as complex or as simple as you want. Um, as you see, very basic setup already. I always find it helpful that when I'm trying to make a template, use some fake numbers, then I can delete them, save it with an empty, and then every time I have like a new project or I want to use that template, I'll make a copy of it, rename it. That way you don't have to make the setup every single time. Um, Generic numbers. I'm going to put in a whole bunch of stuff, that way it's easier to see the format. Here we're going to put in our limit. We're going to say it's $40. Our tax rate is going to be 6%. Some of these things I've already formatted to be dollar. Just hit the dollar sign. For this one, I just hit the percent sign. And had it show 2 decimal places depending on where you live. We're also going to, all of these, make them into dollars. These we don't really care. These can just stay up at the top. You see that they're just general. It's perfectly fine. Then we also want this column to equal number of boxes times cost per box, and then we want it to do that all the way through. For subtotal, we want it to equal the sum of all of these boxes, and hit enter. The tax rate, we want it to equal the subtotal times the tax rate. And last but not least, the grand total is going to equal sum of these two. And you see that last one. To start an equation, you can either use plus or equals. It works the same. I want to format some things so it looks a little bit better. We'll make all of these things in the center. Same with those. Alright, but it's still not warning us. Obviously we're over our costs. So we need to use some if-then statements to make it warn us and make everything work. So in this total, I'm going to do equals if, and that's what I want. So that wants the logic test. So I'm going to say if this cell is less than I 16 plus Alright, so what I've pretty much done is said if our limit is less than the subtotal plus the tax, then I want it to just add the subtotal and tax and display that. If not, I want it to display over limit by. We'll see, that didn't frickin' work. If that is less than. Because we gotta reverse our sign. Alright. So we're over our limit, and this will tell us. We can even put in something to tell them by how much. So this can just equal if this cell equals over limit by, then I want you to do I-16 plus I-17 minus J2. Otherwise, 0. It is formatted as $1. So here, what it's saying is, if the other cell equals over limit by, it's going to do the calculation for us. It's going to add subtotal and tax, and then subtract our limit to tell us how much we're over by. And so then the person could go in, maybe they zero out a couple of things until they are good to order. There we have it. Pretty plain, pretty basic, 2 if-then statements. The biggest thing that I want to go over now is protecting this so that there are only certain things people can change. And that way, if you have an employee use it, they're not going to be able to mess up the dollar per box or the cost formulas or the if-then statements. So what we're going to do is we're going to select all of these. We're going to right-click. We're going to format cell. And under protection, we're going to uncheck the locked box. We're also going to do that for this cell right here. Format cell, uncheck the lock box, hit OK. Now we're just going to go under review, and we're going to do protect sheet. And I like to just select lock cells. So when it's protected, people can only select unlocked cells, not the locked ones. And we're going to put in a password and hit OK. Re-enter it. Alright, so now as we click through, the only cells I can do anything with is the ones that I unlocked. I can't select anything else. And I can change them whatever I want, and it calculates for me. This is the basic. You can format it so it looks pretty. Does a whole bunch of different stuff for you, but I'm pretty sure that's what was asked. If you wanted to, you could make all the order items in a drop-down box. Check out my other videos to learn how to use drop-down boxes. Hope that answers your guys' questions. If you have any more, let me know. Then, of course, if you know, each time before you send this or use it, you're gonna have to check the dollar per box and your tax rate. So to change those, you know the password. Just do unprotect, put in the password, and then you could come in here and make this 7%, and then you're all set. Alright, well, have a great night, and hope this helps.